Engineer,
What are you doing?
listen to this. I saw some nerds on YouTube with these thumbnails saying how much money they were making running something called a 3D print farm. I thought to myself, I love money. An engineer loves working. So I decided I would let you join me in on this and start our own 3D print farm. What do you say? You're not busy, right?
Actually, I am kind of busy.
Haha, glad to hear it. Now we just need to come up with a plan of what we are going to print using our 3D print farm.
Well, one option is we could come up with our own ideas, print them using our printer farm, and then sell them online on platforms like Amazon and Etsy.
Too much work. What's option 2?
Okay, well, we could print other people's designs and products for them and then charge them for it.
People will pay for that?
Definitely. There's lots of people who have ideas and designs that they want prototyped, but they don't want to have to learn how to go through 3D modeling or how to use a 3D printer. Not only that, there are plenty of people who want things printed for themselves, like figurines, toy car models, coasters, drain pipes, potted plants, key hooks, keychains.
Interesting. Well, how do we do that?
Well, what do you think the most important thing is when you're trying to start a 3D printer farm?
Misleading ads?
Nope. Try again.
Oh, exorbitantly high prices.
One more time.
Child labor.
The answer was 3D printer. You need a 3D printer to start a 3D printer farm.
3D printer operated by children?
Okay, moving on. A good starter printer is the Creality Ender 3 series, specifically the V2 Neo. It's cheap, easy to maintain, and makes fairly high quality prints.
You had me at cheap. What else?
Well, just like how you need to feed cows on a farm grass, or hay, or is it milk?
Quit it with the farm analogy.
3D printers need something called filament. Filament is the large spools of coiled up plastic wire that you feed into a 3D printer so it can squirt out plastic. They come in all kinds of plastics like PLA, PETG, ABS, PC, TPU, ASU, nylon. They come in all different kinds of colors, and they all come in different spool sizes. But I think we could start with PLA. It's the cheapest and most accessible of the 3D printer filaments. It's kind of like the Toyota Camry of filaments. It's nothing special, but it'll get you from A to B.
How much is this going to cost us?
Oh, we can talk about that later.
Fine. So we have our printer, and we have our filament, but we still need to figure out where we're going to advertise our 3D print farm. And it needs to be somewhere that doesn't have an imperial fuck ton of other competitors. Oh, I know. Let's try Craigslist and Fiverr. On Fiverr, when we look up 3D printing services in the US, we can see that there are less than 40 available services, which means it'll be easy for us to stand out. I set up a custom 3D printing listing on Fiverr, which was pretty easy and free, the best kind of price. I put some words in a description, posted some edited images that are definitely not stock photos from a Google search, and boom, we have a listing on Fiverr. Now that that's done, let's move on to Craigslist. Craigslist is a little bit more complicated. Every listing has to be given a location and can only advertise to someone within 250 miles of that location. So I created 9 Craigslist listings, say that 5 times fast, across the country in areas no other 3D printing services were being advertised. This technically violates Craigslist policy, so don't tell Craig. The downside is each Craigslist listing costs $5 to post, and even worse, has to be renewed and repaid every 30 days. Stupid Craig robbing my money. I don't feel bad that I'm breaking your policy.
So now what?
Now we wait.
Hey, Pathos, our first order came in.
Great Scott, what is it? How much money can we make?
It looks like some sort of lens cap. It's fairly small, and it would take very little material to print, and they already have the 3D model. So I guess we could charge $10?
$50.
$50? We can't charge $50 for that part?
Well, we sure as shit can't charge $10. It may cost a little material to print, but have you considered the cost of electricity to run the printer? How about the packing and shipping fees?
No.
We need to consider all the costs that go into making and shipping the part before we give them a price.
I think I can build something that will do that for us. Uno momento. Alright, finished. I created an Excel sheet that takes into account the material cost and the cost of operating the printer, which I just set at 25 cents an hour, plus the shipping costs. It takes all that together and then recommends a price. I entered the details for this order and boom, it recommends a price of $15.
Seems low. What's the markup percentage? You know, the amount we add to the cost so that we can actually make money. You didn't add a markup, did
I didn't add a markup, no.
Without a markup, all we did was charge for exactly how much it costs to make and ship the product, but that means we don't make any money. No, it's worse than that. We lose money because of all the other costs we already paid for, like the 3D printers and the advertising for our listings. Whatever the price is, add 50% to the total, what does that give us?
$23.
I can live with that.
Ha.
What's happening?
I don't have anything to use as packaging.
I'm confident you'll figure it out.
Oh, wait. There.
We can't send that.
Is it because it's from Target?
No, because it's a bag of plastic that will do fuck all to protect the parts during shipping. Here, go to Uline's website and buy some polymailer bags. They have built-in bubble wrap that will help protect the parts.
I guess that is better.
I'm relieved you agree. But we need more orders if we want this to work. Let's give it a couple more months. How's our 3D print farm doing?
Pretty good. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Oh yeah? How's that?
Well, when an order comes in, I first find out how much time and material it would take to 3D print, which is pretty easy because I can just get that from Cura, the software I use to prepare the 3D prints. I plug those values into our handy dandy price calculator, which gives me the price that we should charge. I then plug that price into a quote which I create using a website called Skynova, which gives us a quote that's almost looks halfway decent.
Sponsor us, Skynova.
I put all of that together in an email with a timeline of how long it'll take to print and send that to the customer for their approval. Once approved, I print the part and get it packaged and ready to ship. In order to get the shipping label, I found that Shippo is a pretty good service to generate shipping labels for fairly cheap.
Sponsor us, Shippo.
Coughing a lot. You might want to get that checked out.
Yeah, I guess I'm coming down with lack of sponsor-itis.
Gross. But I print the label, slap it on the box, and then send it out the door. And that does it.
Not bad. Seems like you got it all figured out. It's been a couple of months since we started this, so let's see how we did. How much money did we make?
No idea.
How many orders did you fulfill?
Not a clue. I usually wake up, black out immediately, and then fulfill all the orders for that day, and then wake up in a pool of my own sweat. Maybe it's tears.
Give me a second.
2 hours later.
Oh, finally. I was able to reorganize the records, and I got a better idea of how we did the last couple months. Turns out we were given 30 3D printing requests in the last 2 months. And it looks like of those 30 requests, 2 came from Fiverr and the rest came from Craigslist. Of those 30 total orders, 9 of them were canceled, which means we completed 21 orders. From those 21 completed orders, we charged a total of $674. Now, of that $674, since we had a 50% markup in our pricing tool, we know that we lost about $450 from filament, packaging costs, and shipping label fees, leaving us with a profit of $224 or a profit margin of 33%.
Oh, boom shakalaka, we made some Benjamins. 2 of them.
Not so fast. We need to subtract what we paid for the listings on Craigslist, which if you remember, we had 9 listings for $5 each for 2 months, which totals $90. And that doesn't include the $300 we spent to get the 3D printer.
It was
Come again?
I might have gotten a little carried away and bought more than one 3D printer, but I mean, who's counting, right? And before you get mad, it was a deal. 15% off.
15% off what price?
It was 4 printers for $1,000. Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to get mad.
Give me that neck! Whew, okay. I'm calm. So let's wrap up. I think overall we did pretty well, but it's clear we are not making enough profits on each of our orders to cover our expenses and initial investments. So I think we need to increase our markup from 50% to 85%, which will raise our profit margin to 47% in order to make this business a little bit more sustainable. Any problems with that?
Nope.
Anything you'd like to say?
Bitch.
Virgin.